my name is Karen Beloy, and I'm a second-year student at the Dancing Prim Dancing School. And today I will be doing a activation out of the Worshiping Bride book. And the specific chapter I'll be working on is the Confidence of David. And this is a several-page chapter, which is longer than most, and it really spoke to me because I've really been going through a time of being overwhelmed with how much he loves me, and really having a confidence in this is I want to say a strange confidence. It's just a confidence that just eludes the English language, really. And so as I read this, it really was capturing a lot of how I was feeling when I first was baptized in the Holy Spirit. The first thing that God had me do was write my journal and kind of write my life story to the Psalms. So I actually remember a lot of these Psalms and how it really enabled me to get to know God, to know God's heart, to know that it was okay to fall apart, that it was okay to, we could give it to God, he could take it. And David was a man after his own heart, but he did some really naughty things too, and God just loved him with all of his heart, and David worshiped him back with all of his heart as well. And so as I was reading through this, I had a lot of really strong pictures and memories that were coming back. And one of the things that one of the verses that really stood out to me, and I had to be honest with you, because as I was going and preparing this again today after the whole activation had kind of come to me and what I was going to do for this, I realized the psalm that he gave me actually wasn't in the book, but it's still, what I'm about to say really captures the intent of the chapter, so I've decided that I'm still going to go for it. And what I'm doing is I'm titling this activation, He Sings Lullabies to Me. And the song that I'll be doing this activation to will be Jason Upton's Psalm 23. And it says, when the Lord is your confidence, your sleep is safe and sweet. And then the psalm is, I will lie down and sleep in peace, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. And as I was thinking, that's the verse that he brought to me immediately. And then as I was thinking about what I was going to do, the immediate imagery that I got was about how do I sleep, and thought, things that happen when people who sleep well, people don't sleep well. Psalm 23, obviously, that was one of the reasons that verse really came to me, is about sleeping, by the still water. And so I wanted to do some imagery with that. And one of the things I do, and if you don't yourself, I encourage you to, when you do these activations, actually take yourself through the activation as if you are doing it with everybody, because it can really have a profound impact on you. So as I was doing this activation, I'll do the activation, then I'll tell you the story. It's actually turning into a testimony. So after I do the activation, that part of the official part of the activation will be over. But I'll tell you kind of what I went through, because I think it's pretty powerful. So one of the first things that I saw was, sleeping, because I used to be an insomniac. And actually, I'm going to tell you my testimony as I walk through this, because it really makes it stronger. Because as I was getting the imagery of, I was an insomniac till about 5 years ago. And everything kept me up to night. I was so full of fear and anxiety. I can't express to you how much I was full with. And so I was thinking, it was like thinking about the things of the day, and all the things that were on my mind, and just all the darkness. So, for the first part of this activation, I'm in a hotel room, so forgive me for the my props here. But I saw like a dark towel or something, like almost going through this room, being tormented, and I see, the black towel or sheet or whatever you're using, doing this, and just like the darkness almost taunting you. And one when that's over, and okay, so actually as I was going through that, what God reminded me of is I have, I've heard a lot of testimonies lately, and a lot of them talk about that that moment when I surrendered, when I gave my life to the Lord, and I was different before and after. And, I was saved when I was young, and I gave my life several times growing up. But in terms of true surrender, I was I'd been asking the Lord, what was my moment? When did I do that? And when I was doing this activation, he reminded me, and what it was, and I'm like, why am I sleep so peacefully right now? Like, how did I get from here to there? And he reminded me of the moment, and it was about 5 years ago, and my youngest son, who struggled with mental issues, had almost killed me and it had been multiple times, and I just didn't know if I could take anymore. And he, over a balcony, had thrown a candle that was about, one of those big ones over, and literally missed me by an inch. And my sister-in-law, who specializes in helping with people who struggle with mental issues, she was there and helping me cope with this. And I went to my bedroom. I slammed my bedroom door. I went into my bathroom, took off all my clothes. I was in fetal position, crying my eyes out, just saying, Lord, I just don't know if I can take this anymore. And I laid on the floor for I don't even know how long, but all of a sudden there was this song by Mercy Me called Beautiful. She put it outside my door. I didn't really know she was a Christian at this point. I mean, I knew she was, but it wasn't a part of our conversation. She put that on loop outside of my door. And in that moment, I gave it all. I surrendered. I didn't have any idea of what was for me on the other side. Nothing but pain had been with me before that happened. And after that song, I came out, and I've actually choreographed a song to that beautiful song, but that's for another day. But he brought us back to I've talked about this moment several times, but I never really realized that was the beginning. That was the beginning when this new journey started. And the fact that he saved me from suicide and kept me here is when I got total confidence in his love for me, and that's when I was able to start sleeping. And so I went through all this. I was reminded of all this as I was going through this activation. And what I wanted, so the next part of this activation, after you're in here thinking about, what's that thing that I need to surrender? What darkness continues to plague me? I'll hold it up. You walk into this, and again, I'm really going to the Psalms 23 imagery here. So I plan to have this in 3 full circles, but I don't have enough to support a circle, but I'd have these 3 banners probably. So I'd have the white one for being surrounded in God's purity and his love. He leads me through green pastures, which is also a sign of growth, sign of growing with him. And also, the Holy Spirit is with me in light blue, will never leave my side. And that's when I had my aha, because I believed all of this lying on my bathroom floor when I came back up. And from that moment forward, I was able to sleep peacefully, just like Psalms 23 talks about. And as I sleep, he sings lullabies to me. I hope you heard all of that, and I hope you too can, you know, insomnia is something of the enemy that really seems to have a hold of a lot of people. And I hope as you go through this activation that whatever's keeping you up at night, give it to him, and he will sing lullabies to you at night, and you'll sleep soundly like a baby. Thank you.